have a question for you. Has it occurred to you that the problem is that you do not have a secure attachment to yourself, to your goals, to your vision for your life? Because you see any one step from your current reality, any action requiring all-consuming commitment, even if temporary, as a threat to the tangible, solid world you currently hold in your hand. That you think that in reaching for any of the pieces of the life you want, the ones you see floating past you, that you might risk losing the one you have, that you might turn your back and find it all gone, and would it all have been worth it? That thought alone stirs something unimaginably uncomfortable in you. This occurred to me earlier this week as I thought about what the next apex of my career might be. And I have had so many restless nights because I felt this overwhelming burden of trying to define what's going to come next. And at the same time, I found myself kind of swatting away any ideas that might come from me to the likeness of the idea that I could do that later. That didn't bring me any comfort because I realized that I didn't really think of things in that way. And this idea that I could live multiple lives in succession to one another, as opposed to carefully constructing the one that I wanted in cohesion, all in congruence right now, it didn't sound realistic. And the idea that I could pursue one passion now and return to another one later without getting swept up in what I was doing made me realize that I lacked a fundamental trust in my commitment to myself. And this made me think of an article that I read a few weeks ago from The New Yorker, where the author brings up this metaphor for secure attachment. And they describe it as this ability for a child to be able to turn away from a parent to go reach for or grab a toy and knowing that the parent would be there when they get back. And although they brought up this example in the context of an open relationship and a polyamorous relationship, the actual metaphor did stick with me, and it clicked for me when I had this thought earlier this week. And it made me realize that it's the same reason why I used to run for an hour whenever I would make it to the gym several years ago. And it's the same reason why I would do a full body day, because I wasn't sure when I would actually come back. And the issue again in that case came back to this idea that I didn't trust myself to implement or pursue the commitment that I'd made to myself, in that case being the gym. And it just made me think, how many of us really think about our lives in that way? And for how many of us is that the reason why we don't go for or focus on a chapter of our lives and focus on that one thing or make that one decision to focus on one part of our lives for the time being? Could it be this question of attachment? Let me know if you relate to this.